Welcome to one of Weston's most loved buildings, the Mercury office. There's been a local newspaper in Weston Super Mare since 1845. Here is the very first edition of the Weston Super Mare Gazette. February 1845. It's not a facsimile, this is it. How do you fancy reading that with its tiny font? But that's the way people communicate. It was revolutionary, as revolutionary then as our modern forms of communication are today. But 40 years later, in 1885, the Mercury moved into this wonderful building. And up until very recently, that's where it lived. The building is now vacant. Weston Town Council has taken it over and is converting it into a new council office.
My name is Adam Cashmore. I'm a site manager for John West Contractors, who I've worked for 35 years. I'm currently running the refurbishment and reinstatement of the stone gables to the front tower of what was the former Mercury office and now is going to be head office to Weston Town Council. I'm retiring. I would have liked to see the project completed, and I've done a lot of projects, worked with the Town Council. I've worked in the Blakey, Mayor's Parlour, and the biggest one I did previous to that was the Weston Museum, which was a beautiful project. Likewise, this one has been very good client to work for, very easy to get on with, and sing from the same sheet. So the restoration to the Mercury building is important to me as a born and bred Westonian. Ashcombe House, I've lived here all my life, and this building has always been significant on the boulevard. And most Westonians, if you told them that's where you wanted to meet them, they'd know where to go straight away. So it's a bit of a landmark in the town, and obviously because of its height and its character on the front of the building, that I think hopefully if you're a Westonian, we've all got a little bit of that character in us. And to see the front and the top of the gable completely restored, and then the existing tiles be reused, it's just beautiful, because I'm going to walk past that, my children will walk past that, and hopefully their children, and it'll be here for a long time.
So I'm Mike Coles. I worked from the Western Mercury from August the 2nd, 1972 through to May the 17th, 2017. Very old, creaky and spooky. At night, the doors would open and shut, and it was generally the most spookiest place you've ever known. I was there when the new building was put to house the Goss Community Press. I was there when they took out the old presses, the Cossa flatbed, and also some other flatbed, and a pattern printing press that used to be in the front office before they extended out the front office out to that. So the old linotype room, which I worked in many years, used to have a glass roof on. And during the summer, it used to get almost unbearably hot. And then during the winter, it was heated by a pot-belly stove in the middle of the room. So much so that it actually charred all the floorboards and almost fell through on one occasion. When they were creating the new room that became the new composing room, they discovered that the building was hardly supported, and it almost fell down at one stage, and was being supported by scaffolding as they knocked through to create the press room for the community press. It's always been quite an unstable, rocky building. And in fact, when the presses, the Cossa flatbed ran, it actually used to shake the building. While working on the linotype machine, you developed a sixth sense. You used to get something called a blowback, where the lead wouldn't inject into the mold, but it would basically squirt out molten lead down to where your legs were. So you kicked off the machine on your chair to make sure you were well clear of that lead. But most of the time you had splashes of leads on your trousers. When the linotypes were faded out in favour of paper and film makeup, how much quieter and safer working in there became. where you worked on computers. So when there was building work done, the members of staff used to sign their signatures. It's a perfect place for the town council, being centralised. It's an ideal position which holiday makers will be able to find, and it's great as well to see that lovely building remaining refurbished and having an important use in the town.